We will now transfer this scene to a 2D drawing, so I come up here to click on the template button and we will select A3 and click OK. And here in this view creation window, we click here on this button from scene. So now I understand why it was important to place the camera in a good view or in the right view so that this view will look good on the 2D drawing. So this will be the front view on the 2D drawing. So then we click standard and choose 1 to 1 and click OK, and we place the view here. There are a couple of things to consider when we use a view from scene and when we add bill of materials and to add item bubbles. We will look into two ways of doing it. So first I will select the view and come up here to select bill of materials, and we will use this template assembly. Now we come down here, we see that the bill of materials is now associated to the selected view. So it must be associated to the view, otherwise we cannot add item bubbles. So in this way we can be sure that we can add item bubbles and IronCAD will recognize this view is connected to the scene. So I will click cancel here. Another way of doing it, if we not select a view and come up here to select bill of materials and select assembly, now we have to come to use configuration. We see now it says include suppressed objects, but we have to select the right configuration here, and that is engine exploded. If we don't choose engine exploded, we cannot add item bubbles to the view, because IronCAD will not recognize this view from the scene. So we will use engine exploded as configuration, then we click OK, and we add the bill of materials, and I will grab this node and snap it to this corner here. So now we can add item bubbles. So I will click here and I will add an item bubble here, and on this cylinder and on the displacer piston and on the glass piston, and then I click OK. You can add more item bubbles if you want to. It would be nice to have a shaded rendering, so I will select this view, come up here to select shaded rendering. So now we see it's a big difference. It looks a lot nicer with shaded rendering. If we come down to the properties when the view is selected down here, now we see that it is set to draft. If we click quick instead, the view will be turned into an image and the rendering will look even nicer. So I will use quick mode for the view to have a shaded rendering. And then I'll come down here to the title block and I will add my letters, and here as well. Then I double click on the middle mouse button, and you can add more item bubbles if you want to, but I will save this drawing. Come up here and it will be saved as engine, but we have already an engine drawing, so I will type engine dash exploded. And then I will click save, and I will close the drawing. And I will also close the scene.